So here we are again. Just had to salvage another video. I didn't forget to put the focus on. What happened was I put it on the wrong film setting. It was on film style setting, which makes all the background blurry and the foreground is all nice and clear. So that's what happened. So I've got a few videos like this, I'm afraid, and I'm doing another voiceover. Luckily I found out how to do it now, and I'll just sort of kind of talk you through it like I would if I was drawing it. So I've taken out all the blurry bits. You've got everything you need though. You can see kind of how it comes together. I'll tell you the colours that I'm using. So the first colour is that kind of very sort of pale, sort of creamy pink colour. It's a kind of, it looks like a light pink, but it's looking cream now in this video. It's the RE7. And it's looking much better now to me. You know, now I've got more pastel on there. You need to get plenty of pastel on. And when you rub it over with your finger to blend it, like I like to do, it doesn't go too muddy. This pastel doesn't go kind of muddy. It doesn't muddy the colours. So it's very, very easy to use, actually. Very easy to use. With cheaper pastels, that's what happens. They kind of go muddy. If you try and blend them, they don't do very well. They don't do very well at all. So yeah, just what I'm doing now is just kind of putting those top hairs on, just to give it that kind of feathery, sort of hairy look, and get a bit of texture going there. He very soon becomes to look like a teddy bear in this video. I keep saying he, it's a girl. This is Tillie, who was actually adopted from Cyprus. I asked my niece to tell me a bit about her, and anyway, that's what happened. They went there to get married, my niece and her man, and they adopted her while they were there. They just fell in love with her. She was actually 4 months old at the time, and they had to wait a bit till she was old enough to travel and had a passport and everything. And she came over to England. So she's a little foreigner. Anyway, she's an absolute gorgeous little dog. They absolutely adore her. She's a real little character. She's a lot of fun, and she's got a very big voice, as you can hear at the beginning of the video. I said to them, have you got anything really nice and sweet? It makes her sound nice and sweet, because she looks so sweet. And they said, well, no, not really. She looks very cute, but she's a very loud girl. So this is why we've got this bit at the beginning of the video. I really wanted to get her voice on it, her own voice, not any dog just barking. It wouldn't have been the same. Anyway, so yeah, we're just kind of working through it now. Well, so while we're doing this, I'll just kind of point out things as I get to them. But before I forget to mention, because I always forget to mention this during my videos, I've got 3 other full playlists now, 3 other pet portraits. Free, totally free for you to do. They're all in real time. They're mostly okay, you know, video-wise, but I am still learning. You know, I've been doing this 6 months, but there's a lot to learn. I'd never done anything like this at all before. And to be able to concentrate on what you're drawing and everything else that you need to get together is quite a feat, but I'm doing my best. I am managing as best I can. And when I get the hang of the phone settings, I'll be all right. But this phone I've got is really good. It's an iPhone 13 Pro Max. So it's a couple of years old now. It's really very, very good phone, but it's got 3 cameras on it, which is quite a lot for my little brain to take in, really. Quite a lot to tackle. So, yeah, this is why this business has happened. Anyway, I'm just going to stop now for a second, come back. Yeah, so there are a couple of blurry bits I've left in. I particularly wanted to leave in because they were showing a bit that didn't really need it to be that clear, and you can really see, what we're doing at the moment is blurry. But I thought it was important for you to see how I did that side of her head. This is where she goes into teddy bear mode. She is such a sweet little thing. I thought it was important that you saw it. And you can see how I can rub it over and it doesn't go all muddy. Things really do kind of stay put. That's the other thing as well. Because I usually work in pastel pencils, I don't really do a lot of rubbing like this. So my board is moving about a bit. Every time I do that, that makes it go blurry. So I'm going to have to get that sorted out. I can't be carrying on working like this. You know, I'm trying to do my best for you. I don't want it to look terrible. I really want to impart what I've learned for the last sort of 15 years or so. I really want to impart what I've learned, mostly from YouTube, to everybody that wants to know it, really. Anyway, we're going all blurry again here because the board's moving. I'm moving in the front. It's all a bit of a disaster, isn't it, really? Anyway, please try and take what you can from it. This mustardy colour is the perfect base colour for Tillie, I think. From that very small set, I've been able to use quite a lot of the colours. It's surprising, they all have been, very useful indeed. I think the only colour I haven't used is green. And I probably could have used that, actually. I did spot a little area at the top of her head, actually, on her left side. I could have probably used a bit of green in there. And these suit me very well because I do like a bit of colour. And the intensity of this pastel is absolutely incredible. It's just divine to use. Really, really gorgeous. So I'm just kind of watching now. Funnily enough, it was quite strange for me actually to do the drawing without talking to you while I was doing it. I've got so used to doing that now, and I love doing that. I really do like it. I hope that you don't find that too boring. I know most people do voiceovers, and actually in a way it's a lot quicker because you can do quicker videos and then just do a voiceover on it. But I didn't really plan to ever do this. So I've kind of been forced into it, but it's okay. I'd really like to know what you prefer. If you do actually get to listen to this, it would be wonderful if you could just let me know what you prefer. Just go down in the comments below the videos and tell me what you reckon. Tell me what you prefer. Are you into the long videos or because the other 3 pet portraits I've done, they've all been about 33 videos each. So it's a lot of time, but doing pastel pencils does take longer. This is a lot quicker. This is one of the quickest portraits I've ever done. And pretty keen on that. I like the idea of doing things quicker, especially if I'm doing pictures for you. That really encourages me to carry on using the pastels. It's one thing that I always fancy trying. I've only ever used pastels really for a little bit of one other picture I did a couple of years ago, and I just tried out that method that most people use. You put a base colour on, then you go over the top of it with pastel pencils. I just tried that, and it is good. It's very, very quick. The way I'd normally do it is just all pastel pencils and do the blending with the pencils, which I like very much. It's a joy to do, but it does take longer. Not as long as coloured pencils. Coloured pencils they can take an age, and a lot of people are using the coloured pencils now on this PASTELMAT paper because it's quicker. This PASTELMAT paper is quite something. It's not like any other pastel paper I've ever used. And over the years I've tried lots of different types. And I don't know why, but it's only recently I've been using PASTELMAT. I think it was because I'd bought so much paper, I wanted to use it. I didn't want to waste it. It all costs money. And I just thought, well, I should be able to be doing this. But everything has been much, much slower and longer on the other papers. And you can't get the detail that you can, not so easily. You can do it, but it'll take a lot of patience, a lot of time. And I do like detail, so I have got the patience, and I've made the time for it because I wanted to do a nice job. I want to do a nice job of every picture. I do, really, of course. But this is fun. Using these pastel sticks is great fun. Now the black here, I'm using that to get that kind of depth in there and to give it a bit more definition. And you do get that feeling of 3D, like there's a bunch of hair there. Once you use the very dark colours like this, it does give you a lot of texture to the hair. It's nice. I think later on I get back to her eyes and do a bit more detail with the pastel pencil, because so far I think they've just been done with the Caran d'Ache pastel stick, which is a lot harder than these that I'm using here, the UNISON, a lot harder. And it's quite good using that for the black because it doesn't kind of blow around everywhere over the whole of the picture. Here's my head again. Look at that focus on my hair. It's incredible, isn't it? Really not where we want it, but, these cameras are amazing. Really are. Also the lighting. I've had to change the colour on this video and the last one because the lighting. I was trying to get the lighting thing together. I love to work in daylight, but of course you can't always do that, especially during the winter. So I thought, well, I've got to try and get the lighting sorted out. And it really wasn't until I started to do this on YouTube that I even considered working in the evening and not in natural light. So this is a daylight bulb I'm using. It's one of these, what do they call it, vitamin L or something, and is incredibly bright. Had to kind of turn it away from the picture. So these are all things that you can learn from. If there's anyone watching this that wants to do their own videos, for a start, this light is very, very bright and needs to be tipped away, can't go directly onto it, because actually quite close to the board here, I've got it focused on setting 3, which is quite up close, and it's quite close behind me over my shoulder there. So hopefully my head isn't in the way all of the time. And the setting for this video, which should try and avoid, is the film setting, film style. I think it's called film style. It's 24 frames per second and it's 4K. I thought, oh, that would be fantastic, 4K. We'll get lovely better quality videos, can upload them at, and I had seen on YouTube somewhere that if you upload them at 1080, even if they've been recorded in 4K, you'll get a better picture. It'd be lovely and sharp, and yeah, so hasn't really worked out, has it? Look at that fuzziness. Now I've left this bit on because you can see quite clearly, because I'm using that lovely light grey colour. That's gorgeous, that colour. But you can see clearly what I'm doing there, so I've left it. So yeah, if there's anybody who wants to make their own videos, just avoid those two things. Learn from my mistakes. The best setting I found is 1080 at 30 frames per second, and zoomed in at 3, number 3, quite close behind me. And it's just getting the angle all right as well. The angle so that you don't get your head in the way all the time. It's a big learning curve, it really is. Just when you think you're getting the hang of it, something like this happens. I will try things, you see, I will try things out. And because I did this picture thinking that you'd never see it, but it was turning out so good, and I was just thinking, oh, you know, I've got to leave home again soon. I'm not here all the time. And I just thought, well, you know, it's turned out good. You know, let's see if we can salvage the videos. And even salvaging the videos has been a learning curve. You know, you're learning all the time. And I do like to learn new things. I do like to learn new things. And I didn't want to waste it. I didn't want to waste the videos. I just didn't want to kind of think, well, you know, if I was going to be staying at home now, I probably would have tried to do it again and made another picture. But I'm not. And I thought, well, I can't waste, you know, I'm going to be away a week and a half. I can't waste that time. When I'm away, I'll be doing my, I think I'll get back to doing some shorts. They're quite fun to do. I've got so much footage from my other from my other playlists. I thought, well, yeah, I'll do a few more shorts because they're good fun. Just finished doing my website, got a new website, so check it out. The link's in the comment and the details below. So another big learning curve. I have made a website, but many, many years ago, and it was quite similar. But of course, you forget. If you're not doing websites all the time, you just forget how to do these things. And I like to do it myself. You know, I like to do these things myself. I always think if someone else is doing it, I must be able to learn how to do it and get it together. So I try my best. And, you know, I'm not working all the time now, so this is my working. I like to be productive. And it's nice to think that I can share what I've learned, and lots more people are seeing my pictures instead of them being stored away in the side of a room or something. It's good. It's a good thing. So I'm looking forward to now getting on to show you how I did her mouth. Very simple, really. There wasn't a lot of work in it, not at all. Usually it can take a long time to do mouths with the pencils. You know, usually I take a lot of trouble over mouths. But this forces you to be more spontaneous, get some nice freshness into your pictures. And that's what I'm really trying to learn for myself, is how to use these sticks. And by my learning, you'll be learning as well. Because you can learn from my mistakes. And the biggest mistake I've made on this so far, as far as we've got, is I started with too lighter colours. They were far too light. I was very sheepish about it. I was a bit, thinking, oh dear, you know, yikes. And then I tried to blend and think, oh my goodness, they're not moving around. They're just not going anywhere. Whatever I put on here is going to stay. and I've got to really, I kind of like that. It's a case of really, because you can go over them and they don't go muddy, so that's a good thing, really. It's not been my experience with pastels before, so it's a good thing. See here now, I just made a mistake just below where I am now, put the black below my thumb there. I've gone over that because it in reality, it wasn't really very black. I put too much on there, really. But as you can see, I've gone over it and it's okay. That's our meal ready. Anyway, I'm going to just stop the video thing now. Yeah, that's okay. It's all okay. Right, here we go with the video again. Yeah, so we're coming to the end now. There's not much else happening up towards the end here. But yes, I was just saying that was a mistake there. And as you can see, I've been able to just rectify it easily. And it hasn't gone all muddy. If you wanted to, you could put more pastel on top of that as well, which I think I probably do. And I'm liking the very loose look of this. I'm liking it very much. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone's going to like it. You know, if you've been used to using pastel pencil and the neat, you know, the neat thing, and you may not like this at all. But some people will. Some people will like it, I'm sure. Not one thing is going to suit everybody. We're all different. And I just felt I just really wanted to express myself a bit more. Get a bit looser with my pictures and just have more fun with it. These Caran d'Ache sticks are very good. Very, again, extremely strong pigment. And you can see it's kind of tainted that colour there, but that's okay. It looks fine. And you know, get those little that hairy look in there with those black sticks. They do them in just many, many colours, those sticks. I would recommend them as well. Because I have used them a little bit here and there. They're very like a pastel pencil, really. Very, very like them. But of course, not as controllable until you get used to them, I suppose. It's all practice. This rusty colour is amazing. Look at that incredible pigment there. It's just incredible. I think it does go a bit blurry here, but I really wanted you to see this little bit here. So I've left it. Yeah, see, I'm just being really careful about where I put the marks at this point because I really want them to be quite strong and stay and get me in the right place. Okay, that's it.